Yo, what up folks, Trev TCG here, Happy New Year, and here with Esper Walkers. An Explorer, deck profile, deciding to have a look at a more, tap out, Planeswalker heavy version of the deck. If you're interested in something more control style, with more counter spells, I did do a deck tech a couple of months ago, I think back in October, and I feel like Esper's not really changed a ton since then. Obviously, the advantage of Esper over straight blue white previously was early removal with things like Fatal Push, Vanishing Verse. But with lay down arms, blue white's picked up a little bit of that, and so I think the Esper deck's fallen off a little bit in terms of popularity. However, we're here. And we're trying to take advantage of Planeswalkers. We've got Narset, we've got Liliana, we've got Wandering Emperor, obviously, for my All-Star Teferi, of course, and a couple of copies of Liliana, Jedhal, General as our kind of big top-end Planeswalker finisher. We still have the early removal. The Fatal Pushes, got a couple of copies of the new-ish Go for the Throat. Vanishing Verse, one of the most efficient removal spells in the format, especially with the rise of mono green. And then kind of using some of those same tools from blue white over temporary lockdown, seems to be powerful. Doomscar, Farewell, and we tend to go, instead of playing Verdict, because of the mana base is a little clunky, we have some Ritual Sluts instead. We have some variation here. And the temporary lock does kind of make you clean things up. Anyway. Alright. So yeah, Planeswalker is choosing to only copy 2 copies in our set. Unfortunately, you can't do the kind of... You can use some of the wheels type stuff if you wanted to. If you want to play blue-black in Explorer, but you don't have access to Notion Thief, for example, or Days Undoing. You have to kind of rely solely on... The split card that's half a pseudo counter spell, half a wheel. Anyway. So you can do those things, especially with Shouldred in blue-black. But, hey, that's just an option. 2 copies in our set, card advantage, so we put in drawing cards, fairly straightforward. Liliana, this is an interesting one. This is a largely, anti-control, where, and also kind of like the mono green match, where you can kind of take some cards out of their hand. You're not playing counter spells, so you're not in a position where you're at least in the main deck, you're not playing counter spells. You're not in a position where you're demanding yourself to keep cards in hand. You want to be using your Planeswalkers to gain your advantage and win the game. And so Liliana can sacrifice its hand versus decks obviously something like Auras. The sacrifice ability is great. There are a bunch of decks that the sacrifice ability is still pretty good. Yeah, Wandering Emperor obviously just that's Planeswalker. Can't believe they printed it. Teferi, amazing. And then Liliana's our top end. It gives us some card advantage. Gives us some removal. Gives us some kind of utility on the removal. If it's troublesome creatures that don't want to go away. And then also, yeah, because you're drawing cards when your creatures die, and you've got tokens coming in from the Wandering Emperor and Liliana herself. There was a point I was trying out Sorin here, but I actually felt like it was probably just worse than an extra Liliana. There's some variation names of what Planeswalkers you can run, and this is what we ended up going for. And then we actually, so the other thing about the sweepers, the option to play 2 copies of Farewell. It's just so good versus a bunch of decks. I don't know how to explain it. Versus green, the other sweepers you have access to don't work very well. They're not very efficient. Supreme Verdicts versus the green deck, they're gonna get Cavalier triggers. They're getting the Old Growth Trolls into their lands to recast Storm the Festivals. Famewell gets rid of all that stuff, and also takes away the stuff in the graveyard, which is also relevant versus a bunch of other decks. So I think it's pretty great. Mana base is kind of interesting. 4 Ravine Towers. We're playing some check lands. We've got the 4 Grave, 4 copies of Drowned Catacomb, a Godless Shrine, Hilo Fountains, kind of, enough island swamps to get those into play untapped. 4 copies of Glacial Fortress. We're playing 2 copies of Interplanar Beacon, Hellcast the Planeswalkers, but also to help our Planeswalkers keep us alive, gaining us some life. There was a point where I actually had 4 of these in the deck. I wanted to actually add a couple of basics just for things like Field of Ruin. I don't like getting Stone Rained. That's fair enough. And then a Django and an Ottawara. My mouse is being a little weird. Sideboard. So, 3 copies of Domin's Veto. Match where you want counter spells. Control mirrors, that kind of thing. Give them Thought Seizers, 4 in total versus combo decks. Versus green, you have some extra cards in terms of Epic Downfall to exile those troublesome permanents, troublesome creatures that don't want to that are just problematic to just kill. Again, the Troll. Again, Cavalier. Private Cardarian versus aggro decks alongside Oath of Kaya, which obviously, while it helixes to gain you life, I'll have to add that back. Also gets this ability where your opponents are attacking your Planeswalkers, you get to gain life and drain them out as well that way as well. So kind of double duty keeping you alive there, and then a couple of Kalatis's as well for those kind of aggressive decks. or even mid-range stuff. I need to add this Otakai back. Honestly, what is happening with my mouse? Alright, let me do that real quick, and then we'll hop into some matches. There are a few different ways to build Esper. Like I said, if you're interested in more kind of like, you want to see more counter spells and that kind of thing, I had a pretty cool list. I played, I think, back in October. I'll put it'll be like a recommended video at the end of this one. Oh, classic. Thank you, Arena. You know what? Sometimes. Alright, let's hop into round matches, see how it goes. Yeah, I thought the Walkers is a bit more of an interesting take that hasn't really been, like, I don't know, played with them much recently. And you lose some of the kind of traditional... The traditional kind of, like, reason to play Esper for AD removal, and you kind of have that in blue-white now. And so going the other way and trying to access, like, these big Planeswalkers. Like, if we had access to something like Elspeth Sun's Champion, even this would be kind of less relevant. But I was like, hey, I want to play a bit with Esper. Some copies of Void Rend. You can't go all out on it. We'll keep this. It's a little slow. We do have our untap lands. We have 2 different Planeswalkers we can't turn 3 depending what we're up against. We'll see. Black-Red Sacrifice. Well, we have a Ritualist set. My first kind of turn is scripted anyway. I should say I'm still a little bit under the weather. I had a cold and I thought I was through that and in the clear, and I had a chest infection a little bit. So hopefully that will be good. Lucky Witness. Do they wait until their turn to sacrifice? Probably. Kind of hoping that these farewells, that we hit one of these farewells that we've kind of tried to include. Which end, if they're not putting a ton of pressure, we maybe just drop an arse out on the turn 3. That's what they have going on. So they hit another Witness. Fair enough. The other card was a land. Yeah. This is the only point in the video where I'm like, hey, if you don't want to watch the games, that's cool, all good. But if you are interested in Explorer content, please do subscribe to the channel. Also, huge thank you for everybody who left nice comments on the kind of free-to-play run video. I'm gonna look to maybe do some more types of stuff like that, but I'm a little wary of like putting the TOS to the limits. Yeah. They only have a bunch of spells to cast for the next couple of turns off of this stuff. I don't know how I try to sequence this. I think I would rather find better tools for what they're doing. Just play them nice out. Rather than giving them free triggers or activations, and attacking their hand isn't going to be very good with any extra cards. And these should be good for us later on. Well, we will add to it though. Ooh, temporary lockdown's great. Yeah, cool, nice. They know about it, so they can play around it a little bit now, but there's only so much they can do. It's going to scoop up most of what they're doing. But yeah, temporary lockdown is a huge tool. As a sacrifice, they're going to come in, attack with an asset down at 1. That's fine, we're happy to leave it there for a bit. Well, leave it lying around there. It's fairly scripted, but I should play this out. They know what's coming, but hey, we want to get rid of these witches' ovens, get them out of the way. They're going to get some card advantage off these anyway, and as soon as we get this done, as soon as we can do other stuff. Okay. So, Fable, land claim. Fable's annoying, but not the end of the world. Let's see what else they have to follow it up with. Then you get to sacrifice these, which means they're into the graveyard. You have to worry a little bit about something like Croxer later on. We've not seen one yet, though. Now, these come off the wrong order, so I think you can only play one of these 2 cards. But yeah, obviously the Fable is the better one. Claim to give the token haste is kind of techy. I like that. There's nothing else that, which is totally fine, but that means that they'll be free to loot into Sun and Moon later. Witch's Oven, fair enough. Okay. And a Cauldron Familiar. We just got rid of something. Oh, humbug. So for Ritual, obviously, let's keep doing cat familiar things. They're going to actually loot some cards away, draw some cards, but then on their third turn, they're going to have another Fable. Now, and like this is only really catching one creature anyway. I think the best use of our time right now is to put Liliana out and just make them basically get rid of the Goblin Shaman token. Play on a little bit longer.
No distractions. Let's make this quick.
Oh dear. Okay. Alright, well you can do this. They're gonna opt to sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar and then look to get it back later. Okay. That's like totally fine though, because that means they need to now sacrifice another creature to start recurring this again. Alright, lead away. Den of the Bugbear. Nice. And a Fatal Push. Let's see Den go to Yard. We're totally fine with Liana dying. Treasure Chuck is annoying at the moment, but it doesn't become problematic until they have like a Mayhem Devil or something like that. Here's a Blood Tide Harvester. And there's another Cauldron. Well, that's okay. We have a land here. Now that they have three things in play, I think I feel better cast. So I really want to cast the Ritual Set next turn. Because we don't want to spend time ticking Liliana up, I'm kind of fine to do the same thing and run it back again. The next turn plan to Ritual Set, just play the tap land here. Well, life total is still doing fine, like we've gained a couple of life off these Lilianas. I think that's better. I don't want to sit time like ticking it up. It's not a great card on the matchup. To be fair, it probably does just get boarded out, depending on how many things we have to bring in. But okay. I'm gonna run back the same thing as last time. See what they want to do.
What you know about the Raven Man.
Tell me what you know about the Raven Man. One of my favorite things is when you uptick Liliana, she says drop it. Like that one CSGO meme. Yeah, like the drop it. Bing, 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 bing. Anyway. First time I heard that, I was like, what in the world? And now this is flipped, I feel a lot better about casting the Ritualist. Okay, I thought it was fairly fine. They're gonna make some. They're gonna get to bring one of these back with the sacrifice. That's okay. Unless we draw an untap land and we just get to go farewell. It'll be fine. Castle is good for them. Okay. I think I would rather just... Let's see how they respond to farewell. We're going to exile artifacts, creatures, graveyards. Not enchantments. Okay. Alright. Harvester in the bin. This one, they may as well recur the noise a little bit. They do have one man land in play, the Hive Dive Tyrant. They did loot away the Den of the Bugbear. But then hopefully now we can just go like, alright, cool, untap, make a Liliana, up to Liliana, up to Liliana. And that kind of surpass the things they have to do. Alright. Okay, right. It's untapped. There's a man land. They've got 3 cards in hand that are unknowns to us. What they got? Mayhem Devil, finally hitting the table. Okay. Table's annoying. With the Ritual Set, leaving them with the 1 token is less bad, I feel like. Because we've got stuff to do for our next couple of turns, I don't feel too bad about playing this Sherlock Crusader, this Rafine's Tower. I think he may have Devil away. They get to loot 2 cards here. Things once it's flip, because I won't want to chance this for the enchantment side, obviously. Have to play another land. I've got these animations on them. So, okay, discard over cat. Okay. They're forced into animating. Fair enough. The other thing is that decks, generally, these kind of like blue, white, and also Esper only really tend to play 1 copy of Farewell. Normally it's like 3 Verdicts, 1 Doomskull, 1 Farewell. Something like that. Maybe one of those Verdicts is a Settle the Wreckage. We're going to make Lyanna an uptick here.
I am the master here.
There are other things you sometimes see. Maybe you see a Shadows Verdict, I think it is. I've seen it as some like blue blacklists. Or like the black sweepers that get played are like Essence Extraction. I've seen some Ritual Asserts.
No,
Ooh, okay.
this was unpleasant.
Good answer. End Wish feels good if we have a token that we can get rid of. Do we want to go... I kind of like go for the throat attack and then fail push the token. And make the Lyanna next turn. I don't obviously don't want to let them untap with this. I don't want to just like Farewell here. Even if we snag that as well. Okay, Deadly Dispute. Sure. I kind of would like them to animate the manland this turn so I can get rid of it. When it's now it's currently convenient. We're not too worried about using our graveyard, which is another kind of nice thing to let you play. Rest in peace. Without having like any moral issues about any kind of dilemma about it. Mayhem Devil, sure. This is from hand. This sets everything. Then we get to Saturday Lyanna. I don't know how Mayhem Devil in play seems like bad for our EV. Well, in generally bad. I'll run this thing back. I'll play this. Fine. I maybe should not have played it just in case they had some kind of. I guess actually I shouldn't play it. The castle. Draw them some cards. Because we need to play pressure fast. As fast as possible. Make some zombies.
Rise.
The sweetest planeswalker in the format is Ugin. It's hard to play with other planeswalkers. Obviously not always going to be using that minus ability for large numbers, but it's enough of a problem that... Okay. Well, it's enough of a problem he's enough of a cost in 8 mana that it's not really feasible. I played him as like a 1-of or like a 1-1 split, or even just in the sideboard in blue-black. Sure. Sure. Keep hold of spell for mastery. Presumably they have a way to sacrifice it. I think this exchange is overall fine. Trying to like Bale for mastery in response does not seem like a winning line. Lucky Witness. Sure. I don't mind terribly. I might exile this with the Baleful Mastery. In fact, Stop them sacrificing it away. Okay, so now we get to do more fun things.
Rise and shine.
There's something to be said for how effective Teferi is without Planeswalkers, without having a bunch of counter spells. But you still have a pile of instance removal, you still have cards like the Wandering Emperor, good timing, that are just really, really powerful to do on your opponent's turn. And obviously, drawing a card a turn, no one's going to really, really complain about. Yep, Fable. Okay. Maybe get a little aggressive here. Let's try and end the game quickly. Managed to pick him up. Fair enough. That takes us to sideboarding. So, nearly cry the Canariums. These epic downfalls are just a little too suspect. And then, what do we not love? Rituals is like a little awkward. The Doomscar's like fine. We have a lot of very, very good cards against them. These Lilianas, as I said before, pretty miserable. Kalatas is also great. Darius Dekai is a kind of mid. If there's like a bunch of cards we want to take out, that isn't really. I might just cut. Yeah. Roll this back. I realized I was talking about Rest in Peace, and I'm not actually playing any of this sideboard here. That's I've neglected some Graveyard Hate, it looks like. So I've seen people remarking recently. Obviously you've got a couple of main deck farewells, and like things like Kalatas, which help a lot. But the amount of like Greasefang you see in Best of 3 has ticked down a little bit. Okay. I'm not saying that from personal experience, but like on ladder in general, from like just in percentage wise, I've certainly seen and lost to a lot of Greasefang in the last like kind of like 5-10 videos I recorded. So we have this Ritual Assert. We also have this Kalatas. Kalatas is going to run into problems if they have like multiple Blood Harvesters. And we'll get how we want to sequence here. Whether we want to cast this Go for the Throat or not. I think there's enough of a chance we want to cast for it. We want to play an untapped man this turn still. Even though we could maybe get the Water Grave in to play up taps down and hold up this. Oh well, and save this and just plan on wiping their early stuff with one of these sweepers. I think the likelihood is that I'm going to try and Ritual hits it on 4 and then hold until we've got Kalatas plus Go for the Throat on turn 6. We also have this Farewell to think about. I think that excuse me. We should work on some play and try not to take like a huge amount of face damage to then get like ground out by sacrificing things later. Like here, if they have like a sacrifice effect that takes like if this is like the alternative to them casting like Fable this turn or Mayhem Level this turn, this is great. Love that. Okay, untap land, go. Certainly Telegraph's Deadly Dispute. I think because I can and we've got enough untap lands now, I'm going to play an untap land here just to represent like an absorb or something. They don't know we're not playing counter spells, they can still play around stuff. Make our opponent think about some more things. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of the blood token, let's draw a couple of cards, make a treasure. Good value, Income's Cauldron Familiar. And then what else we got? If it's just this Cauldron Familiar in play, I'm tempted to play Kalatas blind. I'm not, well, blind's not necessarily the right word, but Kalatas with no protection. When they're playing with the turn, it just shuts a lot of what they're doing down, and they're not going to have great answers to Kalatas post-board, I think.
Notions of morality. Your punishment is my
They're
entertainment.
gonna tick up with both. Interesting.
Pleasure doing.
Let's go this Warrior Grave. It's fine. Our best response to this, I feel like, is to. They'll border the claims out, surely. It's either like make Kalatas or make Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor gets a little awkward into what they're doing over here. I'm gonna make the Kalatas, try and hope that's. Well, try and pray this sticks, and then have a bunch of like pretty good options available to us, including like just attacking with it. Using Doubt It to make Devils plus to discard or lose life is pretty nasty, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. We're not necessarily after a ton more lands, but we do want to be able to hit 6.
Defy me.
I think I kind of just want to make them actually make a choice of the other one. They probably just tick it up. They are going to tick it up. They don't contain a control Demon Daredevil. I think these cards we have are powerful enough. I'm going to decline this. Nine's not very much though. We've got Kalatas that can come and attack on our turn. Okay, so they're a Fable. And here's a cool thing with Kalatas. Oh, assuming they don't have a good answer, maybe they have a Fatal Push. Please no. Because we can go Kalatas here, which only kills these things, and then we get to attack this, kill it. Next time we have Farewell, which clears up some of these things. It doesn't clear up the Walkers, which is problematic. But next time we can attack the other Omnix with the we attack the other we attack the other Omnix list with the Kalatas tokens, try and get it down from 5. Obviously 7's we want to keep them away from ultimate, and also starting to add up quite a lot. I mean, if they're like sandbagging Fatal Push, it's a bit of a feels bad. But okay. See. Yeah, I'm actually recording this a little ahead of time. I know the video coming out on the 31st. On Karuga Fires. And this should come out on the 2nd, so I know I'm going to be away a little bit. I haven't been able to kind of get ahead by recording as much as I thought I would be able to. Hope you enjoy those. And yeah, if you've not seen it yet, I did a video on like kind of like opening basically doing the new player experience on a new account and seeing how close we could get to actual Explorer deck. It went pretty well, surprisingly well in fact. We did it. We went with blue white is what we ended up going with. In the end. So please do check that out if you've not had a chance to already. But also, yeah, thank you to everybody who's seen it and left a bunch of nice comments. It's been heartwarming. And Happy New Year, everybody. Which is actually, I guess this is coming out on the 2nd, so I guess it'll go. But, yeah. Oh, so they claim the firstborn in. Maybe they thought we were playing like shark tucking tokens and stuff. It does give things haste, like the Fable tokens, which is interesting. Love it.
Or carnage. Tribute is owed.
I'm going to decline and discard. I think now for the Kalatas, we're in a lot of trouble. But there are some things. Getting rid of zombie tokens stops us powering up Kalatas to help deal with this as well. It's annoying. We can just kill it, which I think is reasonable. We have 2 Fables over the next 2 turns. It's one of the points where I'm like, do I want to do that? Then we have to discard and draw. So I was like, do we like Void Rend this now? Do we? I can make the attack and think about it. If they block or not. I don't know. They're going to try and get us to 7. So they can't ultimate this turn they're about to go into. And stopping them getting further into their deck with the Fables is super important. Also means that we can exile elements now and not have to do it later. Alright, so this gets us back up to 11. I'm going to get rid of the Fables. So I want to go for enchantments, graveyards, and artifacts. Knowing that we have the Void Ren now to deal with the Mixless. Which is certainly reassuring. We'll see then, we'll see. It's an interesting matchup. The cards go. We're going to decline. I'll also stuff fairly low. We have the opportunity, the ability to we can potentially double spell next turn, but we could certainly at least get rid of the Obnixus and carry on attacking the Cower Task, keep our life total high. I'm not super worried about getting one shot by something, but we'll see, we'll see. Then the Bugbear, Lucky Witness. Okay, so we did hit this, which is nice. But it's not like a huge. It's just taking everything damage, though. This is an Exile, I'd almost be tempted. You could do some real shenanigans here, but they could also have like a sacrifice effect. I'm gonna go to face. Telegraph's with removal spell for this, but hey. Okay. Give it a turn. I'm gonna go ahead and avoid right there. Limitless. And then we can hold up Thornring Emperor, which gives us a couple of life actually off of these beacons too.
No one beats me and survives.
If they have like a sacrifice, oh, okay. So Kenzen's interesting. This is not what I was expecting. They're gonna go into untap the okay, right. I kinda have to let it attack here. So, a couple of things. If it's a non-token creature, then we get to essentially we could down tick to block. This isn't a lethal attack anyway. I think we down tick make a creature and then put it in front of one of the real creatures. Try and get tokens.
Let your blade do the talking.
You can put this going here, but that's actually fine. I feel like I should have let this trigger resolve. This is obviously.
Oh, it's on.
Now I'm getting this on me. They have another unlucky witness. Temporary lockdown kind of clears everything up, right? We'll sacrifice this onto here.
Remember your training.
Big task. They have the real spell, but we still have a Wandering Emperor in play. We've got one card left. Oh, that's a good draw. See what we hit here. Again, the life gain off these beacons really does tick up. I think that if you are not super worried about like getting like Field of Ruined that kind of thing. You could play 4, and again, I did have 4 before, but I got a little punished and ran for the hills to play a couple of basics. But yeah. They also let you splash potentially 4 colors. There was like an old like 5, well, like 3 color, 4 color, 5 color Planeswalker deck, back in standard, that you use like Sarkin, the Planeswalker Sarkin that animates all your Planeswalkers into dragons. That was a pretty cool deck. I'm tempted to do something, try something like that for Explorer. I'm gonna kill this now in case they have a draw effect. They draw effect to sacrifice a creature. Oh yeah, we have a. I forgot about this. Oh hey. Yeah, they're gonna pick them up. All right, we'll play one more match. We're about 35 minutes in at the moment. So yeah. I had fun, sure. I actually I'm actually gonna make a quick sideboard change. So if you made it 30 minutes in, well, thank you. Hope you're enjoying. It was a kind of interesting match. Also, you get to see the real list, which to be fair, I'll post the one I upload will be the one I finish off. Let's be honest, these Osa Kyra are a little sus. I'm just gonna play some rest in pieces. Oh, I'm still bad at this. Alright, cool. Yeah, it'll be this list. There'll be a link in the description. Oh, I copied that. This is embarrassing. The export button I want to hit. Anyway, let's hop into another rank game. Play one more. Water there. I appreciate as well that some people have asked me to see more kind of like event runs, which is what I'm used to do more of. It used to be that I basically only recorded like best of 1 or best of 3 events. Predominantly best of 1. Best of 3 is quite a long time. And if you are more interested in that kind of stuff, do let me know in the comments. I know there's a few people who've been like, hey, please. And yeah, I'm gonna try and get some of that stuff done. I have a couple of decks that I've kind of had a few requests for kind of being run back, like Grixis. I'm gonna make a couple of tweaks and then hopefully take that into a best of 3 Explorer event some point next week. Touch wood. Just finding the time to record best of 3 like events is a little harder. It can be up to like 3 hours. There's also sadly also like the YouTube algorithm side of that, which I'm less worried about. Like, yeah, most people only watch for like X amount of time anyway, and so the video will be less like quote unquote pushed by the algorithm. But I'd rather just make stuff that people want to watch. People who want to watch more of the videos want what to watch. So hey, I'm gonna try and make some longer stuff. Alright. We'll lead off with Gold Shrine taps. Well, Hallowed Fountain start, Azoria sleeves. Feels like we'll be playing against Bleed. It'll be a little bit of a tough one. It's interesting. We have more threats, but obviously they have counter spells. Kind of working out what we can do around them. We're still going to make the Narset on 3 here. Just because of how backbreaking it is if it resolves. And like, once they... 2 mana is like our best chance of getting it through. Once they get to 3, it's almost impossible. Getting a veto out now is actually pretty nice. You have to think about like, okay, how many 2 mana cast spells are they running? How many of the rest? But the other thing is that we're going to have a pile of cards that don't really do anything game 1. And so will they, but...
I've learned much during my travels.
I'm going to pass priority here, see what they do. I'll Vanishing Verse the Wandering Emperor now. There aren't a ton of targets for Vanishing Verse, and even less targets will go for the throat, but yeah. Potentially go like Teferi here, which is rough, but they're not. Fatal Push is not what we want to see, but lines up well against this melee token in particular. The kid again just ends turn, end of turn, Wandering Emperor again, kind of thing. They also cast an Ardent Veil online, which at least means this ritual would be active. So maybe wait a turn cycle depending on what they do here, what we end up doing. Also, this needs to resolve for us to be able to do that. We'll at least hit us. Oh, temporary lockdown at least lets us hold up some stuff. Again, there are not. It's okay. So we've got 4 copies of temporary lockdown, 4 copies of fatal push, 2 copies of ghost threat, 3 copies of vanish inverse, some rituals, some farewells. Well, hopefully get to board into some slightly more relevant cards. We'll see here. The castle is a pretty nuts spirit breaker, which you can't really afford to play in Esper. Depending on how you build the deck, the mana base, like we're making some sacrifices to play into our Planeswalker stuff, but here we are. We're fairly heavy, so let's set this for now. Now they have a lot of mana. The mana, like, I love to just be able to route. Oh, the tap out Planeswalker style that doesn't play super well into the going on. We are way up on cards. We don't want to let them like Mirror Illusion free and stuff. We don't know exactly what they have. I think I'm like, you can't really sit here doing nothing, and so I'm going to cast Liliana. Well, because we don't have anything else to do. We have real spells for this, which you can kind of like snipe out and poke at. We'll see. They're deciding what they actually want to counter this with. Right, let's make disappear. It's one of the 2 counter spells I can play. It's like that in Censor, and then like some copy of Veto main deck potentially. Varies from list to list. Alright. Okay, this Leon is actually pretty big here. I want to cast this, and then hold up some mana, and then next turn I can cast Ritual Assault. Now we get to attack their hand a bit.
And you think you can win?
The other thing is that we want to really hope they don't have a Shard Typhoon. Right, they just got a lot down. They're in the same mode that we are. I'm just going to pass here. And look to Ritual Assault basically on our next turn. They can attack the Liliana down to 3, but that'll leave it alive still. Haul was actually kind of good. Yeah, the push at least. This is all fine.
You're gonna need
What we draw here?
Undertaker.
We cast this first. One problem is that we're not going to have the mana to pay for. Ooh. Well, that was a reason to not.
Fine, I'll take my zombies and leave.
But then also they could have done this one out. We'll pass. Yeah, bit of a land diff right now. They have the hall and the castle, which is just putting in work and work and work and work. With 1 card, they're like, oh no, you don't have a Field of Ruin. Yeah, at this point I don't have the mana available to Fatal Push that. It's gonna come in and clock me for 8 in total. Runs lethal next turn. Like this. Land. Gonna look to cycle the Rafine's Tower. We have 2 cards. Draw step. They're gonna animate obviously it leaves a lot of mana up. The hope is that we can Fatal Push. They're not even gonna try, fair enough. Maybe there's something else going on. Cycle the tower. Okay, Wandering Emperor is actually pretty close. Or sort of clutch. A Ganjo doesn't actually feel very clutch. It's like overkill on soldiers, underkill on the big thing. This combination of things lets us deal with the whole and other stuff. Okay. I'll do this now. The 3 cards. Oh. Shard turning is also a bit of a nightmare. So if you wanted to ask me like, if you're interested in like why I'm playing this version of the Esper deck rather than like a more traditional control version of the Esper deck, I think it's because the advantage you got from old Esper, oh well, the more traditional like Esper with like you still have the counter spells and everything. I'm gonna cast this. Also, I wonder what this card is. Okay. Cycle Sensor. The advantage you used to get is that you get early removal, and white actually kind of has that now. Thought coming's fine. This can hit us for one. What's this life gain? Is the second sword coming? No. So, the one they beheld here, because they beheld it at that turn, they couldn't then cast it in that turn. Oh, I was really optimistic about this. And they should know now that they're probably fine to animate the hole and kill us. They might not do, they might play it safe. Nah, okay. Fair enough. Actually dead. Wild. Again, didn't play me coming clutch. That's why I decided to play like a more tap out version of the Esper deck, try and showcase all the Planeswalkers and stuff. Oh, I actually needed 5 mana. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's go game 2, Okay. What comes out, what comes in? I like Thoughtseize, I like Veto. I feel like we're going to have to leave them as counter testers in. Obviously these are pretty bad. These Fatal Pushes are the least bad of these. The Vanishing Verses are pretty awkward still. There are things that these hit, but there are not very many of them. The temporary lockdowns are absolutely abysmal. Need to go. Liliana stays. Happy enough. It's Richard's lost. The Doomscar's bad. Like, yeah, the Pile Sweepers, which are not very good. And like some of the sweepers are worse than the Spot Removal. Even with like, hey, they can get castle stuff going. We need the idea is that you leave in some number of sweepers, and so I think Doomscar and a farewell. And then is Galaxy Burst is better than I get credit for it. It's probably better than Go to the Throat. Things we're killing with Go to the Throat can be killed with Galaxy Burst. Let's get back on the right track. Alright, we're gonna load this up and put this in here. But yeah, so adding removal stuff, blue white kind of has more of now than it did before, so you kind of lose that advantage. The other advantage you have is over the blue white deck, or kind of like compared to the blue white deck, not necessarily in the mirror match, but against like the format in general, is that you get to play the hand disruption, which is good in some places, worse than others. It means that you have a better matchup versus something like mono green, But there are a bunch of matches where it doesn't really matter. Here we have Thoughtseize, Wandering Emperor, Kalatas. It's like fine. And lands for our first 4 turns, which is important. So yeah, I decided to go with a more kind of like tap out, control-y, like Planeswalker heavy Esper build. I don't need to threaten me though. My plan is basically to play a hand disruption spell on our next turn into a Planeswalker creature. I'll just roll out the Kalatas, see what kind of removal they've left in their deck. This might just get vetoed, which would also be completely reasonable. Thinking about it. Maybe this bit we could have paid for, but I think this is fine. It hit draw a second forces though. So now the R-shield's down. Absorb Wandering Emperor. Behold the Multiverse, Charlotte Typhoon. So Absorb's the obvious thing. That means we can just get like one of these down. Can't really play well with Kalatas into the Wandering Emperor, so we're probably going to play Wandering Emperor from our side before Kalatas. At least know what we're playing up against now. I think taking the Orb is still the correct thing. Can't really play through it. They're going to play like they potentially during the counter spell. They get to represent that, but worst comes to worst, they're going to cycle a Shark Typhoon, and that's fine. I'll let it go. Let's see what they do here. Yeah, I get this like all for X equals 1. That's fair enough. Alright. Do they draw a veto? This we're assuming is the Behold the Multiverse.
Now you've done it.
Let's make a Samurai.
Guards, to me.
I'm gonna play like I don't have a waiting trap with us. Right?
Show them how we greet our
The Baleful Mastery, we have answers for the Teferi. We have answers for the Wandering Emperor. This all looks kind of fine. We would like to have more lands. This is where we're at. And yeah, they get to resolve their Behold the Multiverse from before. Ow. Oh, my eyes. No, not the castle. Anything but the castle. Disconnect. And then I can try and manage a verse at the end of the turn. I want to get rid of it. But to be fair, this is kind of fine. Let's pick up on this token. Token is vigilant, so Wandering Emperor doesn't interact with it. Fine. We say go. Couple of things here. I'm just gonna make a token. Well, that does block forever. Unfortunately. Let's be fair, they're only dead for they're dead in a couple of hits. It's worth remembering. Coming at the Wandering Emperor again. Just with one. Fair enough.
I would run if I were
My
you.
turn. This time I am going to cast Burst on the token. Should have first this token. I don't know why I've done this. This way it looks like I'm trying to play specific pressure. This is me kind of being a bit of I feel like if they tap out to make a
This fight.
token this time in combat, we can catch them or something. Well, they have to at least respect the fact that we can catch them or something. Yeah. Go ahead. And none of the cards on our hand. We could have made like Kalatas here potentially. An arcade turn to do that. We can still make a Wandering Emperor attack it at the end of our and the end of their turn. Bye.
Watch out. I never give up.
I want to force some action out of them. They've not really cast anything. Feels like I'm putting us just further behind and behind on resources. There's so many cards already. I think we're just kind of under pressure to kill them quickly. The problem is that this doesn't really do that. Not great. Let's declare this attack and see what goes on. I presume not very much interesting. They're just gonna block. Yep, I blocked. Cool, 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 cool. Probably want to be able to cycle this at some point. It's not really like a stubble spell. I'm gonna make an extra token here.
Keep watch for intruders.
I'm not doing this. Until I feel like we need the mana. But it's rough because they have so many cards. Alright. Go Wandering Emperor. See what they do with it. Usually just down to make a token. That's fine. I don't want to jerk this kind of stuff because I'm kind of forced to try and kill Teferi. Now they have two blockers. So they're gonna make a creature.
Our swords will cross again.
What else do we have going on? Let's spawn with this. You can still bail for mastery here. I want to see what their response is here. They can no longer make a token with the castle.
Finally, I'm home.
I'll make a token. So they have 3 mana. You have to go back up to 5, which will let them activate the castle.
I won't hide from the world any longer. Let's take it back.
They would gamble, but 3 mana, man. It's unlikely. They have to draw a card off of this as well. This is sick. We're like playing to our outs, because this is the only way we win this game. I got this card. This was called a student cost. They're just gonna have a shot Typhoon. Right? So I assume. I have a Fateful Absence, fair enough. They take 2 and a 1. Pain.
Keep watch for intruders.
I cast this. No, they have like a sweeper. Beyond that, there's not loads. They a 1-hit dead. They can send the Shark Typhoon out the Wandering Emperor to kill it. Like if they have a Wrath here, it's just game over.
I'm never done.
However,
Guards, to me.
new Teferi. Teferi down ticking on something.
Excellent timing.
Seems actually wild.
Time is much
Yeah.
more malleable than
I'm known for my excellent timing. We can do this. We have to untap, which will let them make it a token.
Our swords will cross again.
I feel like that's risky, but maybe they should have another real spell. We sacrifice a clue. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Or hey, we got one. Alright. That was rough as that was a tough game. Jeez. Alright. That's not how we wanted to go. But that's kind of what we're forced into. Maybe we even want the fourth veto on the board. That was such an odd game. Alright. Alright, we'll just hit the one out. We're a little past the 1 hour mark. We're on the draw. We have Thoughtseize and Liliana, which makes me want to keep this. Even though we only have 2 lands. Okay, immediately paid off with Rafine's Tower. Now we can go Thoughtseize into Liliana and hope that can kind of carry us a little bit. We'll see how it works. See how it works out for us. Thoughtseize into Nasa, also fine. Again, this could get vetoed, cast it. Not cast that way, mate disappeared. And so they're going to cycle shots, I think. What do we see? All the Planeswalkers. I think we just get rid of the Teferis. I don't know about Teferis. The Wandering Emperor's easier for us to play through, I think. We'll just kind of tailor a little bit what we draw to. Here we're looking to discard Countertask. Oh, they actually drew a Sensor, okay. That was not too bad. Leon actually hurts us a little as well. So hey, it's like mutually assured destruction in that way. Well, they didn't hit a land, we did, which is good. This exchange also fine. Are they looking to exile the clue? They're gonna march the clue token.
Just the trick for this.
Oh, I'm just gonna take a look. Long term, we take Teferi. We have good answers to the Wandering Emperor and Wandering Emperor things.
I hope you're ready to lose. We must protect the people.
Countertask kind of stops them blocking a little bit. They can, okay, so we have to be a little wary not to get got by double plus here. But I think that's fine. They've actually spent mana, so that's not a worry.
Let your blade do the talking.
This is we think of Behold the Multiverse. I'm gonna declare attack. You know they have the second one, they've not cast it yet, they've not allowed to cast it this turn. They're gonna double block, I'm gonna push one of them. You get to eat the other one. They have a choice then to which evil. We're gonna end the Vanity Reverse and Veto. We have the answers. I'm gonna veto the Behold. I'm actually gonna do that. I wasn't planning on it, but I think actually that's the way to go. We want to say the Vanishing Verse for the new
For this,
Wandering Emperor.
we must protect the people. I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming.
That's fine. We have to do this on Tap Mate Teferi,
Until next time, then.
which sounds good. We'll see though. Apart from out of the woods yet, we kind of just trade our resources across. We just hope that having the Teferi in play makes us better long term. Emperor's a good follow up too. But it all kind of depends on what they draw off the library. Let's see. Now we can Wandering Emperor plus Thoughts as well. Thoughtseize plus Wandering Emperor. We also strip a pretty good number of cards out of their hand. Means actually then to make disappear. Take this. They go. This stops us getting got by random counter spell. I think this is the way to go. Whereas if they draw like a veto or something, which is very reasonable for the Wandering Emperor, we just need to carry. Don't want to risk that.
Stop that now.
And so we get to keep drawing cards.
Hurry.
Alright. We can stop playing lands at this point. Do some stuff to pitch to Liliana. Cycle. I'm just gonna do this. No, because I can threaten the block with Wandering Emperor token. I think we're kind of forced, not forced to, but it's the best way to use it. I just saw it coming, that's fine. Not great other targets for this. All the storage adds a couple of turns of being online. Or on this one through.
Let's skip to the good part.
This is where we'd love some utility land. I should maybe play Castellana over some of these. Well, not nonsense things. This, assume this is a sort of coming. Right? There's probably cast already, unless it's a Doomscar. The problem is that we kind of have to play through it a bit. Yeah. How great. Better just make them use it on our turns and then get to use it on their turns. If it's a Doomscar, then we get to make this plus. It appears to be. Okay. To be fair, they cast the Behold, and then sorry, they end up doing sort of coming done before. Right. Wandering Emperor. Okay, what tell and do that. Ooh, this is actually a really good draw. Not a really good draw. Okay. Once you have land shots, means never is bad. Like, we're actually not going to lose either of our Planeswalkers to it, but like. Phew. Yeah, I have to assume it's a Doomscar. There's a very, very, very small chance it's an Epiphany, and that would be bad. The extra sound spell. At some point, they're just gonna like find a way to get a Tavarian to play, and then find a way to get a.
Enough.
You'll see. Liliana's interesting. Up to Fairy
Let's get
first.
to the good part.
Okay. Last card was a sword coming and they didn't use it on Big Liliana. That's kind of wild. I'm gonna -3.
Get out of my way!
Let's draw us a card. Story now is if they have an untapped land they can haul. Oh, feels great. Because Liliana Teferi here. Teferi is the option. Which I don't know actually.
I'll have a better plan next time.
I mean the an answer for it. I'm not gonna play these lands out.
Like a fun new toy.
That much of it was actually kind of great against us. Weird. Oh, maybe if. I want to attack you if they do have like one Ring Emperor. They have a pretty high life, so we have to chip them down from anyway. I'm gonna hold this Kalitas in hand, I think.
Smelly, but effective.
They did have the one Ring.
I hope you're ready.
I'm gonna tick up with that. Sure.
Keep watch for intruders.
Basically, like, we want to use this fatal push specifically for the whole, the double hull giants. If possible. Ring Emperor is pumping out tokens.
Let your blade do the talking.
This seems not great. Like, if they down ticked here, maybe they have a second one, or they want to, like, actually get a first strike. Obviously, this draws us cards.
Waste not, want not.
The fairy, sure. Oh, this are we tucking Liliana? No, okay.
Hold that.
Hmm. Cast Liliana, make them sacrifice a creature. Attack the Wandering Emperor this turn. Alright, they have a veto. Yeah. I think at this point we do attack. We do play Kalitas, sorry, not do attack.
Back to wandering.
Also want to play our land. We can munch these zombie tokens to make a blocker for the blocker or attacker through the hall, which threatens the fairy, which is quite nice. And they're on the double draw stuff, which is pretty fun. We also get to attack zombies to Kalitas to draw cards, which is quite cool. Alright, they're out on using Storm as a blocker next turn. How many Wandering Emperors are they through? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say I extracted one of them. Okay. We'll see, we'll see. Oh no, the clock is ticking. I was worried I had one of these with DCs again.
Death is enlightening.
Well's not interesting. It's like as it is. So they have 3/6 mana. Alright. We attack to Fairy and we see where we go. They have a 4th Wandering Emperor. The odds are that they don't, right? Let's cycle this now. So we draw. Fine.
They were a lousy servant anyway.
Alright, this lives. We get to make a new zombie. Let's say go. We got a Wandering Emperor up to more attackers. They do still have a Teferi in play, but we got rid of the Manlander's gone. At least. And we can draw a couple of cards if they have a Wrath. Or Answer for Kalatas without the zombies. Well, Answer for Kalatas with the...
No time for a break.
Happy to keep the zombies around. We get to draw off the Kalatas itself anyway. That seems fine.
I'll find a use for you later.
I should just keep them up. Fair enough. Yeah. We have Wandering Emperor. We got zombies in play. Fairy's not going to stay around for that long. We've still got... I mean, Liliana's actually going to be able to... I think about it, it's actually like -9, I think. Okay. There, we've got to run them out of resources. We had a pretty good hand lined up against theirs, that's fair enough. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a subscription to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Again, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace out, peace out. Oh, and let me know in the comments if you've got anything you want to see coming up. Obviously, we're a month out from Phyrexia Orders 1, or a little over a month, I think. So, yeah, in the run to that, I'm going to be going over some new stuff, some old stuff, some fun stuff. And so if you've got anything you want to see, let me know. Peace out.